A podcast is going to be dropping soon featuring Juan Soto, and he reveals a massive detail in his free agency campaign that is going to shock all of us. Plus, another member from the 2023 OMG Mets is on his way out, and we are going to get discussing on who it is and give my reaction and why that is happening. Everything going on in Mets world right now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome on in. You are locked into this new edition of Mets Digest with your host, Michael DeAngelo. As you see on the screen, before I get started, I gotta ask that you guys please hit the subscribe button down below. We are at a little under 4K. As soon as we hit 4K subscribers, I'm gonna be doing my next big giveaway for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, whoever you want. Tell them that this is their one-stop shop for everything New York Mets baseball. Anything free agency rumors, trade updates, trade rumors, injuries, prospect rankings, I don't even know. Whatever it is covered right here on Mets Digest. Me and Flo Boys have been killing everything so far here this spring training, and I'm sure he'll be back soon. You guys will see him in some upcoming videos. But for right now, let's get started. So as I said before, Juan Soto was featured on the Abriendo, I think it's Abriendo podcast. My apologies if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He was featured on this podcast that is going to be dropping soon. And during the podcast, he reveals basically some big details about his free agency campaign. He reveals one thing first, and that was the finalists for him in free agency. He reveals that it was the Red Sox, the Mets, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers. So, I'm sorry, I had to check myself on that. But basically, he revealed that those teams were the 5 finalists. And the last detail that he revealed in the small clip of the preview was that the Mets weren't the team that offered him the most money. Is it? I can't believe, like, when I first saw the headline, I thought it was fake. But he actually said it himself, and coming from the direct source, that the New York Mets did not offer him the most money to sign with them. They gave him $765 million. He is the highest paid athlete in professional sports history. And the Mets weren't even the team that offered him the most money. And that is unreal to think of. It was probably, I'm sure now that the final offer for any team, whoever offered the highest, was maybe close to $800 million after incentives. And you got to remember that. So I'm sure the initial guaranteed money was around probably $780 million. But after incentives for all of those years on that contract, it might have exceeded $800 million, way over $800 million, because the Mets contract can potentially do that right now due to him opting along with his opt-outs, his incentives, and him opting back into his contract potentially later down the road. The contract could reach to $800 million. So the fact that more teams offered more money definitely made sure that it exceeded $800 million. It is wild to think of. And at the last part of the clip, he gets asked which one of the teams were the ones to offer more money, and he gives a little chuckle, and the cut clips. Or, the clip cuts. I'm way too tired right now. So I'm sure that once the podcast actually drops, he will probably not reveal which team is the one to offer him the most money. I'm sure that's some details that he is not allowed to disclose. If I had to take a guess, I would think that the Dodgers offered him the most money due to the fact that since they've been able to pull off all these deferrals and that their ownership group is a bunch of hedge fund owners and, just big time investors, they were probably able to offer him that type of money because of the type of revenue that they bring in and the type of personal revenue that their investors bring in. They were along with the deferrals that they gave Shohei Ohtani so far, they're probably able to stack it up with Juan Soto as well. And that is crazy to think of. The Yankees easily could have been one of those teams as well. We might never know. You have to wait to see this podcast drops if he actually team name drops the people or the team that offered him more money than the New York Mets. Me personally, I don't think he does it, but that's crazy to think of, that we stand here today thinking that the Mets, that no one was coming anywhere near close to the New York Mets for their offer for Juan Soto. But meanwhile, we get these details later on that Juan Soto was offered more money than the Mets initially. So that is so wild to think of. And now we are so, I guess we're sitting here lucky that we have Juan Soto. I mean, you better consider yourself lucky. Now, as well in this clip, he explained that his decision coming to the New York Mets was a group decision between him, his representatives, and his family. And, that was pretty amazing to see that, people thought he was just going to go around and chase the money, which initially everyone thought. But now knowing that he passed up on more money to be with the New York Mets really showed that he really did want to be here and be with guys that he's familiar with, like Francisco Lindor and Edwin Diaz and other guys of the Latino community. The fact that, he really chose us, even though he wasn't getting offered the most money, goes to show you guys that he really does want to be here and he's not all about the money, which is pretty crazy. Such a roller coaster of emotions, since recently SNY reporter Andy Martino did report that, Juan Soto misses the Yankees and that, his heart goes out to them and kind of push this narrative that, he didn't really want to, he kind of left for the Mets for the money, and kind of push that narrative even more along with that, with that report. But now that this has come out, it kind of puts Andy Martino on thin ice, and I've seen a lot of backlash put on him recently these last couple days, ever since this little clip dropped. And I mean, look, you can have your opinions on it, but it's my point just to drop it that to you guys. But let's move on here. And it is a bittersweet ending to this wonderful team that we had last year. And this move right here kind of staples it for all of us. And that is that Jose Iglesias is signing with the San Diego Padres for a minor league contract. Like I said, bittersweet ending to a magical run with this man. Remember, his career was pretty much put in the coffin, and he signed a minor league deal with the Mets where it was most likely that he wasn't going to get a lot of playing time. He would really only come up with guys being injured and would kind of just be that, safety valve, last resort type of player for the Mets. Jeff McNeil gets hurt. Jose Iglesias comes up and takes over second base for a little bit, and that was that. And the magical run continues. He drops the song OMG. It ends up going number one on all Latin charts, amongst music, and, just set off this huge culture changing, movement for the New York Mets. So, we are not here, considering what happened last year with this vibe and this culture that this team has right now. We are not here without Jose Iglesias. He is a pretty essential part to what we accomplished so far and what we are able to accomplish right now with this team. And, that is so awesome to see. So wish Jose all the best he can. I hope he's up in the major leagues when he comes back to Citi Field with the San Diego Padres. Hopefully he's up in the major leagues playing with them so that he can get, a nice tribute, standing ovation, whatever. I'm sure, the Mets will give him all the praise while he's back. This does kind of suck to see, though, because when he first started his free agency campaign, he expressed that he was looking for a multi-year major league deal, rightfully so, considering the season that he had. It wasn't just the song and, the vibes that he put on the team what made him great. He was putting up great numbers, hitting at a very good average, and still playing elite defense as he always has his entire career. So rightfully so, he was looking for a multi-year deal. And, now that spring training has started already, I'm sure he wasn't getting that type of money or that type of contract offered to him, and then has to settle for a minor league deal with the Padres. Now you ask, why couldn't he just sign with the Mets for a minor league contract when the Mets could easily afford that? the thing is we have so many young guys on the rise now, especially on the infield. Like we've talked about all spring training long, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, Luis Angel Acuna, guys where they play all the positions that Jose Iglesias does, and those guys are under team control. You have them for a while. You don't have to pay them any external. You don't have to pay them any extra money. Than what you're paying right now for your whole team, and one of them is at least going to provide close to the, or maybe even more than what Jose Iglesias provided on the baseball diamond. So right now, that's what we're hoping for, is that Luis Angel Acuna will kind of take over that utility infielder spot. Maybe Brett Beatty as well. We know he's been getting reps at positions he's not used to, like shortstop and second base. But bittersweet ending to the OMG era. And I mean, hopefully the vibes with this team stays the same like it was with Jose on it. And that is all I have for you guys here today on Mets Digest. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this, especially the Juan Soto stuff. That is crazy to me still. I can't believe it that, he was really guaranteed something over $765 million. Let me know what you guys in the comments think about all this, that he really wants to be here now. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, we are at 4K subscribers so that I can announce my giveaway to you guys. I just want to do it already, get it done and over with, get us to 4K, and then we can celebrate and, we're getting closer and closer to opening day, and we're going to have some special things coming out for you guys. So I will see you guys in the next video, and have a great day, everybody.